was sort of feeling, not sort of feeling, very much feeling completely burned out after a two-decade long career in real estate. I was at the top of my game. I lead a pretty successful team, and just as I can feel it now, I remember being at my first meeting and having my voice tremble as was introducing myself, because I just felt like for the first time in my entire life that I could say, it turns out that the success that I was looking for isn't really what's bringing me joy. And how do I make that work for myself? How can I see what other women have done to bring joy to their career, to find meaning in what they're doing, without completely scrapping all the work that I've done? How can I make this life work for me? And I think as women, it's very difficult for us to have a personal life and a professional life that aren't heavily intertwined. It's an inextricable relationship, right? So I, at the time, was heavily thinking about moving from one firm to another, and it was through the different exercises that we did in the Tide Risers meetings that really gave me perspective, that enabled me to take a step back from what I was doing and what I was feeling, and really write about and think about in small chunks. It wasn't like I had to dedicate 2 to 3 hours at a time, just to dedicate 5, 10, 15 minutes here and there to what it is that I really wanted. And it gave me so much courage, which is something that we don't always allow ourselves to have as women. We don't want to be too strong in our business world. We don't want to be too pushy, but it really gave me a sense of confidence that I really needed. And so I made a very significant change from one firm to another. It was very difficult, but I had my girls behind me. I had people that had my back, so that I could call them with just questions, or sometimes if I just needed to chat. I had an entirely new network that wasn't in real estate, that enabled me to see things that I couldn't really see in my day to day. So for that, I'm so grateful. But I will talk about one thing in particular, which Laura knows I'm not going to not be able to talk about, and that is during one of the exercises that we did, was really amazing. Callan Fleming, I don't know if she's on here, but Callan is amazing. She was she was in charge. She was our fearless leader of my cohort. And during an exercise, and now I can't even remember what it was called. I think it was called the Odyssey. It was, imagine yourself, your job or whatever it is that you're doing right now, it's closed. So real estate was closed. What else would you do? And I wrote this big plan of how I was going to open some sort of a hotel or resort or lodge. Like this was 2019. And I just was fantasizing, like, what else would I do with myself? And it was going to be something tourism related. And I had sort of forgotten about that exercise a bit until last year, when my husband and I had the opportunity to open an inn. So we are now in business together. I'm still doing real estate, but thanks to Tide Risers and all of the courage and confidence and clarity and perspective and looking for like my authentic voice, we've been able to launch this little inn that's just been so meaningful. And I hope that in the process of doing it, that we've inspired other people to also sort of look for their authentic selves in business.